You know, we fuck with the Surfs. I like the Surfs. I like Lance. I like the team. I think they're cool people. Let's see what Jordan Peterson got to say.
One of the things that I think capitalism is underappreciated for its vices. So it's better that warlike men establish mercantile empires than empires of war.
Now run that back. That made no sense.
Vices. So it's better that warlike men establish mercantile empires than empires of war.
It's better that warlike men did. How is this man a renowned author? How like I understand he's on a live stream and I'm not expecting him to be able to like articulate his thoughts like clearly. You know, it's hard. But like if you're saying what I think you're saying, do you think mercantile empires are not empires of war? They steal the resources from other countries. Does he not get the American Revolution? It's like, yo, even the stuff that is taught in the books, even if you spun it to make America sound like the greatest place on earth, still wouldn't lead you to the conclusion he just said out loud. I know, I gotta stop pausing. I gotta just let him talk. But holy shit, I can't find myself ever opening my mouth to say things like that. Like, I like to think not dumb shit doesn't come out of my mouth often. You know, like I may have uninformed opinions about things, but at least I'll take the effort to try to inform myself at least a little bit. Like sewer socialism, what's that? Okay, let me Google it for 5 seconds before I have a full-on conversation with you about it. But okay, yeah, that's wrong. That it's not better because the whole ideology is that warlike men creating the mercantile empires would then lead to them wanting to conquest more land for more resources to spread the mercantilism out, which is why it like low-key phased away with the Ottoman Empire.
And so, and I think rather than the whole scale remodeling of our group, of our proclivity for group aggression, we need to figure out how to refine and orient it. So capitalism is a landscape of competition. It's not only that, because it's also a landscape of cooperation. And virtually everything we do is a landscape of competition and cooperation. But
that's not true.
See, for example, misguided efforts to insist that all games among children be cooperative as a way of dampening down the competitive impulse. And to me, that's going to make things worse rather than better. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you're aiming at, but is it that all games among children be cooperative as a way of dampening down the competitive impulse? And
because the competitive impulse in a child will generally lead to anger. Because the response to, see, sometimes people will say things out of their mouth and you can rationally understand where they're coming from and then fill in the gaps. So the problem with that statement is that it alludes that it leaves out that competition between children usually comes to a point of anger because the rules are not expansive enough for their literal bodies and minds to comprehend how to get the edge on the opponent. Once they figure out an exploit better instead of using it. Oh no, I'm sorry. Once they figure out an exploitative, would that exploitable? Exploitable. We'll use exploitable. See, I say dumb shit. Once you get to an exploitable point, a child will reuse that over and over and over again. Because they figured out the exploit before the other child, that child has to comprehend two things: the rules of the game. They have to become competent or a beginner. They have to become a beginner, a novice, an advanced beginner, or competent in the stage of learning how to go through the game, and then that exploit becomes a massive hill for them to climb because the exploit is already beating them and they already don't understand the game. It's easier to make the games cooperative because the whole team is either forced to win or the whole team is either forced to lose. You cannot blame it on any one person, which makes way more sense if you were trying to grow kids into a introspect on how society should work, because you would want to say, well, I don't want to succeed any more than you are. I'm okay being above you, but like the tether, I have to pull you at least at some point. I have to pull you up with me. Eliminating the cooperative aspect in a child's growth would then say, I could just drop you because none of what you say to me matters. If I get high grades and you get low grades, who gives a shit? That's the competitive aspect of the that would be the competitive aspect of the children's lifestyle, if you want to even call it the children's game, is the grades. The studying has to be a cooperative effort. So that's wrong. So that's a shitty take on capitalism. That again, would have to assume three things. One, that warlike people would not just simply take other people's resources to spread out their own empire. Um, like vices. Colonialism is better than genocide. That's why capitalism is good. Yeah. Yeah, shit like this. Yeah, kids don't play competitive sports anymore. It's why no new soccer players, hockey players, or basketball players join the elite leagues of the world. We're literally running out of new players. That's dumb. There's a place for competition and there's a place for cooperation, and we feed competition in almost every aspect of our media and every aspect of a child's lifestyle, literally comparing their grades to other kids and saying, look, you'll be like the garbage man if you don't get good grades. Like, you're an asshole. But he's one of the most preeminent thinkers of our generation, and not even remotely close. That's not a societal take at all, because you'd have to just eliminate the years of 1603 to 1864. You'd have to eliminate all of them. You just fuck it. Like, oh my god. Is football competitive, cooperative? How about chess? He's vastly overgeneralizing complex play forms to justify simplistic views of wide political power relations. Yep. What if the people who want to make men less warlike abolish Uno? Therefore, capitalism good. Terrible. Shit take. Shit take.